In Season 2 of Junkyard Joust, everyone feared Creature from the Black Lagoon, except for 2 cars, Lamelt and the Rev Rod. These 2 cars seem to have 9 lives, but eventually Lamelt took out Rev Rod and only 2 remained. After multiple rounds and multiple insane recoveries, nobody was eliminated. The cars had to go no holds barred, and finally, Creature was able to take Lamelt down. Graveyard Smash walked away with the championship, but our top 3 teams from last season are back, along with all the cars that qualified from the qualifiers, to go at it again in the Junkyard Joust. Hi everybody, I'm Aaron Yonda, and the first epic competition is ready to go. 10 teams are ready to compete. Only 3 will survive in this first heat of the Junkyard Joust Main Event. Let's take a look at our teams. First up is Amaranthin. This team survived their qualifier with 4 cars still remaining. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Next up is Bloodlight. They proved they had staying power in an epic final qualifier. Heavy and Boxy, the Devastation wagons, are difficult to get off the track. Long and with some serious undercutting power, Worthington Drabsters are a force to be reckoned with. This team is sponsored by the Worthington Library. Hot Pursuit is a team of fast, survivable vehicles. The Indigo Ice Picks are acrobats, and they have some undercutting ability. A team that almost nobody thought would make it out of the qualifiers, Nerfed, the lightest team we've ever seen on the track. Propulsion's got a lot going for them with survivability, ramp, and undercutting. Rod Warriors are a team of light, agile cars. They see me Roland placed 3rd in last year's championship, and now they've got a new member, Jackhammer. If you support Junkyard Joust on our Patreon, there are a lot of rewards you can get, including a chance to sponsor cars, or you can just straight up sponsor a car, and I'm also going to be giving away prizes. Speaking of prizes, there will also be prizes for the winner of this season's betting that we have going on over in the Discord right now. It's all just for fun, link in the description. The rules are simple. Survive. Every car has to drive down the track, smash into the rest of the cars, and if they end up upside down or sideways at the end of a round, they are eliminated. Any cars that are right side up at the end of the round move on to the next round. The match ends when only 3 teams have cars remaining in the competition. If you were watching last episode, you know there's one potential obstacle that the vehicles are also going to have to deal with this time, zombies. I don't know how he did it, but Tim the Toolman somehow opened a rift or something and brought zombies through to the track. Looks like he's doing his best to mop them up with that monster truck, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough. It's time to joust. Starting us off first is the Mongoose for Worthington Drabsters. Mongoose goes right underneath the track buffer, Evil Weevil, and just goes straight up to the front, bounces back. Looks like Mongoose is going to be the track buffer now. You can see the order that the 10 teams are going down in. That order is randomly determined. Next up is the Custom Cadillac Fleetwood, sponsored by Regal Radio. Custom Fleetwood piles into the cars and they begin to line up. First up for They See Me Rollin', sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm, it's Papa Wheelie. Nice hit there by Papa Wheelie. Almost topples off the left-hand side of the track, but manages to stick it. Next up for the Devastation Wagons, the Mercury Sable Wagon, sponsored by Liz's Wizard Arts and Witchcrafts. The Mercury Sable knocks Papa Wheelie off and just flips right over and is done. Papa Wheelie, nice recovery. A lot of people say that car is actually going down backwards, and they might be right, but it's been going down this way, so we're gonna stick with that. Uh-oh, looks like a zombie got on top of the Ford Crown Victoria for Hot Pursuit, sponsored by Hey Hey's Hatchback Hanger. And the zombie goes catapulting into the air, as well as the Crown Ford Victoria. The Victoria's upside down up by the crates on top of that zombie. Hopefully that will take care of that problem, but unfortunately it also took care of the Victoria. First up for this unlikely team, Mean Squeeze for Nerfed, sponsored by Winnebago Trauma Clinic. Mean Squeeze leaps on top of the Fleetwood and just stays right there, parked. First up for Propulsion, it's Pedal to Metal, sponsored by Deluxe Flame. And an eventful hit by Pedal to Metal there sends the Mean Squeeze flying over to the stone fence, and he lands it, and the Custom Fleetwood not so much. Flipped upside down, an aggressive hit there, and Pedal to Metal actually loses a little bit of the top of its vehicle. Bloodlight's gonna send down the VWT1 panel bus, sponsored by Ellis Wertenberger. The panel bus takes it to the back of Pedal to Metal and tosses it overboard. upside down, sending both bits flying. Panel bust is what got Bloodlight into the main event, doing well so far. First up for the Rod Warriors, it's going to be Two Jets, sponsored by Liz's Wizard Arts and Witchcrafts. Two Jets slams the back of that VW and can't get anywhere. Mongoose buckles a little bit, but stays steady. Oh boy, it looks like a zombie has climbed into Let's Go for the ice picks, sponsored by Chome. And a slow hit there, not a whole lot happening. That zombie stays in the car somehow. Might take another hit to knock it out of there. These zombies are finding creative ways to escape Tim's wrath in that monster truck. Now up is the Snake for Worthington Drapsters. The Snake sends Let's Go and that zombie tumbling all over the place. Let's Go gets the better result, although barely managing to make a recovery. Zombie is toast, but Let's Go is teetering. Here comes Cruella DeVille for Amaranthin, sponsored by Sean and Patrick Hogan. Big hit from Cruella DeVille, knocks the skin off the Snake and knocks it upside down too. No mercy there from Cruella at all. Next up for They See Me Rollin', it's Rising Heat, sponsored by Judy Collins. Rising Heat with that low front end cannot get under Cruella. Just a slight tap and a push, and then nothing really changed. Now coming down for Devastation Wagons, it's the Volvo 850 Estate, sponsored by Swedenborg Smorgasbord. Volvo gets a little action. Rising Heat is pushed off the track to safety. Two Jets is in danger. 85 Chevrolet Camaro now, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. Camaro slams the back of that Volvo and uses it to push Two Jets off and upside down. And now the Camaro is in a little bit of danger. Not much danger because it's just Sasquatch coming down, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Sasquatch knocks the Camaro for a loop, but the Camaro makes a nice recovery. Not enough force there to knock him upside down, and now Sasquatch is locked in. Propulsion's gonna send down their ramped vehicle, Too Cool, sponsored by Regal Radio. Nice slam from the big front end of Too Cool, almost gets Sasquatch off the track, almost loses his cool and gets off the track himself, but now it looks like that ramp is set up. First car to try out the ramp's gonna be Slide Kick, sponsored by Winnebago Trauma Clinic. Slide Kick goes sliding all the way almost to the crates and doesn't manage to land it. Bounces a bunch, goes upside down, and Sasquatch is also upside down. Couple of eliminations there, and now it's the Rod Warrior sending down Slider, sponsored by Hey Steve Productions. Slider does not take flight off the back of that ramp. Low front end, manages to stop and almost pushes that Volvo off the track. That was a big hit. Next up is the GT Hunter, sponsored by Brendan Walsh. The Hunter slams into the back of Slider and unfortunately just rolls right over. Ice Pick's gotta be disappointed with that performance. Another long one for the Worthington Drabsters, the Fighting Irish. Fighting Irish knocks Slider off the track, flips GT Hunter over, but still upside down. Amaranthin now with the 31 Doozy, sponsored by Whalen Enterprises International. The Doozy knocks the GT Hunter back upright and off the track. Maybe that was the GT Hunter's plan all along. If so, it was a good one. 77 Dodge van now for They See Me Rollin'. The Dodge slams into the back of the Doozy, and Fightin' Irish pushed off the track almost, not quite. Will that ramp come back into play though with Too Cool? Volvo P220 Amazon Estate, sponsored by Wolfel Fiber Art. Big hit there, and it dislodges the Fightin' Irish, and Irish is pushed over sideways. Oof, another loss there for the Drabsters. 2016 BMW M2, sponsored by No Shenanigans. Good hit there by the BMW, manages to lock it in. Now it's time for a Lil Blast from Nerf, sponsored by Emo Dingo. That was a small blast indeed, just a bounce and a knock all the way back. It's never really a good thing when your car gets put this far back on the track, makes you a target. Especially with an undercutter like this. Thunderstreak for Propulsion, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Utter devastation from Thunderstreak there. Lil Blast, though, somehow survives it and lands behind Thunderstreak on the track. BMW gets roasted, and now the Volvo's coming off the track. Bloodlight gonna send down the Mercedes-Benz 300 SEL, sponsored by Regal Radio. The Benz plows through half the cars on the track, tosses Thunderstreak off upside down. The Volvo survives, and Lil Blast is definitely in danger right there. Big hit. Enforcer's up next, sponsored by Wayland Enterprises International. Enforcer does a light bonk on the back of the Mercedes, and there's nowhere to go. Here comes Power Rocket, sponsored by Swedenborg Smorgasbord. Power Rocket knocks the Enforcer up and on top of the Dodge. Not a particularly safe place to be perched. We're back around to the Drabsters again. This time it's going to be Flamin' Frank Pedregan's Fiat Coupe. Flamin' Frank knocks the Power Rocket off almost right. Lil Squish, Sasquatch, I mean. It's a little hard to keep track of the names of these nerfed cars, honestly. Here comes a veteran car, the Mercedes 540K, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. The Mercedes extinguishes Flaming Frank, puts it right upside down, knocks a piece off, and that's the end for that. And the other Mercedes on the track right now is perched precariously. Here comes the new entry for They See Me Rollin', Jackhammer. Let's see what he's got. Jackhammer slams into the back of the Mercedes, doesn't go off the back, which is good. Enforcer slides a bit. Biggest entry on the Devastation Wagons, Team 76 Buick Estate Wagon, sponsored by Hasty Productions. Smashes through a bunch of the cars, pushing them all around. I didn't see any definite eliminations there, but definitely some cars in danger right now from that big hit. Next up for Hot Pursuit, the Nissan Fairlady Z, sponsored by Mr. Bobo. The Nissan punches the back of that wagon and knocks a couple cars, 3 cars in fact, definitively eliminated here, unless they somehow manage to roll over. That was a nasty hit. And here we've got the Squish car I was thinking of, Squish Coupe, sponsored by Woeful Fiber Art. Squish Coupe, a nice gentle tap on the back of the Fairlady. Next up it's Turbo Flame, sponsored by Price X Private Parts. And Squish Coupe goes flying into the air all the way down to the end of the crates. Can't even see if he landed right side up or not. That was a devastating hit. Flies all the way over to the fence and looking at the Skycam shot, makes an incredible recovery right over there by its own teammate. Next up, it's the Scion XB, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. And that hit by the Scion causes a chain reaction, knocks the Mercedes off the track, but it is not out. Lakester now for the Rod Warriors, sponsored by TJG. Lakester slams into the Scion and then goes curbside. That doesn't always end well. Hydroplane is up for the Ice Pick, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Hydroplane goes under the Lakester, and Lakester gets tossed off to the side, but manages to stay steady and make a recovery. And here comes the big one for the Drabsters, the Jocko Liner, 74 grams of undercutting power. Jocko flips the hydroplane all the way over all the cars, upside down. Solid elimination there, and Turbo Flame gets boosted forward. 9 cars left in the round. Next up is going to be Auburn 852, sponsored by Sloss Automotive Sachet and Buffet. Auburn gets a good hit on the Jocko Liner and continues to push the Jocko Liner under the cars, causing a lot of devastation, but it looks like most of the cars affected are still right side up here. Time for the now infamous Rev Rod to hit the track, sponsored by Judy Collins. Rev Rod gets a nice hit on the back of Auburn, puts him up on top of the Jocko Liner, and we just saw the Mercedes topple over, finally, sideways. Probably done. 67 VW 1600 Squareback, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. Squareback gets underneath Rev Rod, does a little pushing, and it looks like that Auburn might be in trouble there. VW Golf MK7, also sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. The Golf goes flying upside down, kind of a comical hit there, but look at this. The Rev Rod was just pushed off the back of Jocko Liner and is upside down. Rev Rod, who was almost impossible to eliminate, currently upside down and maybe out of this competition. Unbelievable hit right there. X-Sponge now, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. X-Sponge, not much going on there. Actually kind of helps the Squareback just stay on the track better. Propulsion now with Triceratruck, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. X-Sponge is tossed off the track sideways, can't make a recovery like his compatriots, and Rev Rod still upside down. Roger Dodger's up for Bloodlight, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. The Dodger tries to knock Triceratruck off the track, can't get him all the way up. Triceratruck almost comes back down. Rip Rod up now, sponsored by Sloss Automotive Sachet and Buffet. Rip Rod slams Roger Dodger over several cars upside down. Aggressive hit there from Rip Rod. Final car of the round for the Ice Picks. It's Blue Shark, sponsored by Judy Collins. Blue Shark, a big hit there, but just knocks Rip Rod off, over, and right side up again. Triceratops just backs up and gets off the track, and it is not looking good for Rev Rod. There is no recovery there. This is unbelievable. This is quite the pileup going on. Taking a look at Skycam, there are going to be 22 eliminations in this round. That is a lot. Nearly half of the cars are out. Taking a look at the aftermath, Amaranthine and Devastation Wagon sitting pretty right now with only 1 loss apiece. Bloodlight and Hot Pursuit lost 3 each, and Ice Picks only lost 2, which is not too bad. And the big story over here, Worthington Drabsters lost 4. Only the Jocko liner left. All 4 of the other teams lost 2 each. And of course, Rev Rod was a loss for They See Me Rollin'. The other team members are going to have to step up if they want to make it to the finals. Zombie update. Looks like we've got a couple on the track. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they aren't blocking the track, so I guess we're just going to go ahead and hopefully they'll just go away. Up first is Auburn 852 for Amaranthine. Running order is up. There you can see the randomized order of the cars. Teams are randomly arranged based on the number of vehicles they have left in competition. First up for the wagons is the Volvo 850 Estate. Good slam by the Volvo into the back of Auburn. Did go off the back of it. Evil Weevil gets tossed into the safety spot. They See Me Rolling. Got to tread carefully now. They've lost their big one. Here comes the Dodge van. Snaps into place behind the Volvo. Auburn is curbside, or maybe just up on the safety rail. Probably going to get propelled forward in the next hit. Rip Rod only 30 grams. It packs a pretty good punch for the Rod Warriors. Big hit there, knocks the van askew, little bit curbside, and that's not a good position for the van. Nice hit. Propulsion gonna seize the moment, send down Too Cool, try to get that ramp set up. And there it is, the ramp is set up. Great recovery by the Dodge van, a complete flip over. They See Me Rolling are probably thinking we're gonna need more of that if we wanna stay in this match. GT Hunter had an amazing recovery last round. Let's see what they can do this time. And the Hunter takes the jump, but recovers. Nice jump there, bashes into the crates, uses them to his advantage, and makes a recovery. Somehow these zombies remain unfazed by everything that's happening around them. Nerfed made it out of round 1 with 3 vehicles left. Here comes Sasquatch. And Sasquatch lightly takes the jump and doesn't take it well. It just slides upside down over by GT Hunter. Not a high likelihood of recovery over there. Chevy Camaro proved capable of taking a jump in the qualifiers. Let's see if they can do it here. And actually doesn't even take the jump. Pushes Too Cool off. Somehow gets hooked on the back of the car, and now we've got 3 cars that are loose. This next hit could be a doozy. It's going to be the VW panel bust for Bloodlight. Big hit here, 80 grams. Panel bust slams into the Camaro. Camaro goes off to the side, upside down. Too Cool makes a very cool recovery right there. Drives off. I think I know why Bloodlight sent down the panel bust. They knew Jocko Liner was coming down for the Drabsters, only remaining car. They're hoping to get some protection, and not too good of protection there. Actually forces the van almost off the track. That thing is so heavy. Rip Rod is forced upside down. The T1 is in danger, and Jocko Liner's coming apart. Amaranthin's got a chance to strike here with the Mercedes. The Mercedes sends Jocko Liner off the track. Jocko Liner rakes a recovery, but loses part of his vehicle. Rip Rod is back on his feet, and that VW is still on the edge. Here comes another Volvo for the Devastation Wagons. Volvo, good hit there, and look at that, the T1 is fine, made a nice recovery. Now we got another Volvo up on the ropes here, pushed by his own teammate. We've seen some great moves from Papa Wheelie in the past. Let's see what happens this time. Papa Wheelie, big hit there, can't get that Volvo upside down, and it slides off to almost safety. Slider now for Rod Warriors. Slider almost gets completely under Papa Wheelie, but somehow doesn't manage to force Papa Wheelie off the track. Up next for Propulsion, it's Triceratops. Triceratops shakes things up, and Papa Wheelie is sideways. No recovery at all right there. Slider makes a great recovery, though. 57 grams of Blue Shark coming down for the Ice Picks. Blue Shark pushes Tricera truck and topples him. Sideways off the side. Tries to take down that Volvo, but can't quite do it and slides backwards. Mean Squeeze now for Nerfed. Mean Squeeze gives a little 9-gram bounce to Blue Shark and bounces back. Not much to do there. Fair Lady now for Hot Pursuit. Might make mincemeat of Mean Squeeze. Fair Lady gets Mean Squeeze off the track, bounces off Blue Shark several times, and it's sideways right next to those zombies. They don't seem to notice. It's another loss for Nerfed if they can't get that car out of there. Here comes the Scion XB. Scion boots the Fair Lady straight over a couple of the cars and upside down. That was a great takedown, and that car is probably out. Cruella de Vil now for Amarantha. Straight shot into the back of Scion, and nobody's moving right there. Cruella just locks it in. Squareback next for the wagons. Squareback can't get any action either and just gets right behind Cruella next to those zombies. Rising Heat's up next for They See Me Rolling. Rising Heat tries to get under the Squareback and can't do it, and also just locks it into place. The cars are getting backed up. Lakester gonna try to shake things up. Lakester can't get under Rising Heat and gets forced backwards way down the track. Often that's a vulnerable position, could be bad for Lakester. Turbo Flame's got an opportunity here. Turbo Flame gets the Lakester off the track, but doesn't end the Lakester. And Rising Heat is forced upside down, still on the track, so not over yet. Power Rocket for Ice Picks. This car's got some power and some undercutting. Ooh, powerful hit right there. Turbo Flame forced off the track. Rising Heat forced off, still upside down, and Lakester okay on the right. The Nerf team is in trouble. Squish Coop is their last hope. A light bounce into the back of Power Rocket, but Squish Coop is able to stay in position, so that's something. Final two cars of this round, Amaranth and 31 Doozy. 31 Doozy knocks Power Rocket and Squish Coop for a loop. Gets Power Rocket almost off the track, as well as Squish Coop. Squish Coop is getting the better of it at the moment. Final car of the round, the 76 Buick Estate, 75 grams of devastation. And a massive hit, and that is going to end it for Nerfed as Squish Coop goes flopping all over the place upside down. Power Rocket is finished off. Just a huge hit there. Almost gets 31 Doozy off the track with that one. Man. Taking a quick scan of the field, looks like we are down 8 cars this round, and at least one zombie. Turbo Flame maybe took out one of those. And it looks like we are going to lose a couple of teams. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Hot Pursuit not feeling so hot now. They are out of this competition. Ice Pigs are down an additional car. Floodlight still got the 2, and Amarantha and Devastation Wagons are still at 4. Unbelievable. And it's official, Nerfed is out of this competition as well. Worthington Drabster's still in this, and They See Me Rolling down to just the van. Propulsion and Rod Warrior still at 3. We've still got 20 cars left and plenty more rounds to go in this heat. Some huge surprises already in the first 2 rounds. Leave a comment, let me know who you think is gonna make it into the finals out of the remaining teams, and make sure you tune in next Sunday for the conclusion to this heat. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Aaron Yonda, and I'll see you next time.